You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, Bobby Jones Golf Club in Sarasota has always tried to make the sport affordable for everyone, but now it could cost millions of dollars to keep it open. The
city-owned club recently asked for help covering its operating expenses on top of millions of dollars in renovations management says are also needed to compete with other courses in the area. ABC 7's Adam Cellini spoke with the city and club staff about the course today. He joins us now live with more details. Adam?
Yeah, Scott and Jacqueline, good evening. Behind me, you can see part of the back nine of the British course out here at Bobby Jones Golf Club. Now, over the last fiscal year, or already in this current fiscal year, the rounds of golf hosted here per day is down 20%, and that has been a negative trend for some time now out here at Bobby Jones. Every week during season, Liz Collister and a dozen of her neighbors come out to play Bobby Jones Golf Club.
There are two courses, and both are challenging, and you have a variation, so you don't have to play the same course every week.
They are trying to improve a lot on it. The fairways are starting to shape up. The greens are really good shape.
But keeping the city-owned course in shape has long been an issue. Average rounds are declining, down almost 20% over the last 2 years. And for the first time in recent memory, they need more help covering operating expenses. A $425,000 subsidy from the city, with an early estimate closer to $1 million in the next budget.
Back in the day, when Bobby Jones was the only game in town, of course, everybody was coming here. And it was all private clubs around us as they started building. But now they've oversaturated the market with golf courses, and especially ones that are open to the public.
Club manager Sue Martin says fixing outdated infrastructure like irrigation and drainage is necessary but expensive. Golf course consultant Richard Mandel recommended a $21 million investment back in October.
We're concentrating on his $18 million number, and we're actually working on trying to get that number even lower.
Well, some of the options I don't even think are on planet Earth.
City Commissioner Hagan Brody was startled by Mandel's proposal. He doesn't want to lose the course, but has suggested downsizing from the current 45-hole offering to help manage the operating expenses.
I think $1 million subsidy to golf for a city our size is unacceptable.
But both Brody and Martin agree the course is an asset for locals, especially beginners.
It's very intimidating to go to other golf courses that kind of expect you to really know what you're doing when you first play golf.
Now, Martin and the city want to make it very clear that selling this historic course property is not an option that they're considering at this time, but downsizing isn't entirely off the table. If they were to lower the number of holes out here, the holes that are left behind would simply be converted to maybe another type of public park, another type of green space for residents to utilize in some way, shape, or form. Live at Bobby Jones Golf Club here in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Jacqueline, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Adam. A follow-up now to a story we first brought to you last week. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office continues to search for a person that fired a gun at a Suncoast park. With several playgrounds, Urfer Family Park has long been a quick getaway for parents and children throughout the years. A few people who visited the park today have heard of car break-ins and other occurrences. But overall, Sarasota County Park officials say it is a safe park and the shooting was just an isolated event.
Safety is our #1 priority in presenting safe parks to our community, and we work hand in hand with the Sheriff's Office to make sure that our visitors and residents have a fun and safe experience.
Anyone with information on that shooting is being asked to call the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers by calling 941-366-TIPS.
An 18-year-old man is on the run, wanted for murder in Manatee County. Deputies are looking for Jacorian Lee, who deputies say shot and killed Tommy Brown Jr. while he sat in his car last night. Deputies believe Lee approached Brown's car and began arguing. Once the feud escalated, investigators believe Lee got into the back seat of the vehicle and then shot Brown. Anyone with information about Lee's whereabouts is asked to call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
In Northport, police are trying to solve an unusual incident at a Lowe's home improvement store. They're looking for the two men and woman in this surveillance video. They are not being charged, but police believe they have some information about a customer who was attacked inside the store yesterday. Officers say a customer was at the Lowe's on Tuscola Boulevard in Northport around noon when he was pushed down by another customer. If you recognize anyone in these pictures, call Northport Police.
New details about an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in a Northport community. According to a report by the Florida Department of Health, the growth of Legionella bacteria was found in a hot water heater at the fitness area of the Island Walk community. Testing was also done in the community swimming pool and the spa, but returned negative results. 13 people tested positive for the disease in late February. Health officials say the water heater temperature was only 91 degrees, which is not hot enough to restrict the growth of Legionella. Then that water heaters should be set at about 140 degrees.
Certainly much chillier here on the Sun Coast today by Florida standards, of course. Let's check in with meteorologist Steve Newman, who's in for Bob tonight.
Jacqueline, it's going to get even cooler as we move to the week, but after all, we've had some really great weather for the last week, and next week's going to be great. So we get a little cooler area right now behind this cold front that is now moving out of Florida into the Florida Strait, triggering some heavy rain down there. And I wish we would have gotten at least some of this rain. We just got scattered amounts over the Sun Coast, but look at all these bright cells now leaving the state. We didn't get any of that, but we are getting a lot of wind, and there's a lake wind advisory in effect all across the northern two-thirds of Florida. Along the coast, a high surf advisory, a small craft advisory, and a danger of rip currents. It'll be up till about noon tomorrow, so be alert to that if you're heading toward the beaches. And out on the water, I think it might be a good day to stay in port because of those strong winds and high seas. It'll be blustery tonight with gusty winds up to 20-25 miles per hour, cooling off through the 50s through the evening and even reaching the upper 40s. I'll tell you exactly how cool it's going to get tonight and what next weekend is going to be like. You're going to like it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Steve, thank you. A recent study on Florida's most dangerous highways named US 41 as the second most dangerous road in the country. The highway has seen 714 fatal crashes over its stretch of the last decade. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano has reaction to this latest study.
Good evening. I stopped at this local Shell station off of 41 to hear what motorists thought about this new study. And though some were completely shocked of this high ranking, others said, yep, that's why they avoid 41 altogether.
It's congested and it's a little bit scary, and I have to have eyes on the back of my head.
I think 41 is a hell road. I think you should stay off it at all costs if possible.
Might not be a bad idea, according to this study from Geotab, a fleet management company that collected 10 years of traffic data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The chart shows US 41 only outnumbered by another Florida road, US 1, with over 1,000 fatal crashes in the last decade.
That was a big shock to me.
I am surprised, but with all the snowbirds and spring break and everything going on, I can understand it. I drive 41 every day.
For this exact reason, Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Ken Watson says travelers should be extra cautious during season.
This time of year, not only do you have your snowbirds, but you also have your spring breakers. So now I have senior drivers down here. I also have very young drivers down here. That can be a very dangerous combination.
But the FHP says there are ways to protect yourself on these dangerous roads, and that includes defensive driving.
Good situational awareness and have that spatial orientation. Know who's beside you, who's behind you. Use your mirrors, and that way everyone around you, everyone in your vehicle will safely make it to the destination.
Reporting in Sarasota, Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Taylor. Well, ABC 7's business commentator Richard Stern joining us now, and kind of a mixed market to start off on the
mixed market and another wild day. What else is new? 296 points top to bottom, but let us not forget, let us remember that on Friday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by 441 points. We did give some of that back today, not quite half, but we again had a wild morning, a wild afternoon, and while this was going on, the NASDAQ was up for the 7th consecutive day and set yet another record. So let's take a look at the figures. There you see the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 157 points, just over 0.6% at 25,178.61. That on volume of 843 million shares. There's the up arrow for the NASDAQ. 27.5 points, almost 0.4%, closing at 7,588.33. That on volume of 1,909,000,000 shares. And the S&P, which is the best measure of the market, barely moved, down 3.5 points, just over 0.1%, closing at 2,783.02. Well, once in a while, the world of sports and the world of business come together, and yes, indeed, today, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, man very well known as the chairman of Berkshire Hathaway and only a multi-billionaire, has offered to his employees of Berkshire Hathaway $1 million for life if they can fill in the entire bracket without making any errors. If by chance a school from Nebraska were to win, which he lives in Omaha, Nebraska, Nebraska is not in the tournament, but Creighton is, and if Creighton were to win the tournament, and you got them all right, you would get $2 million a year for life. So I certainly wish everyone well in your brackets locally and nationally, but for those people out there who just might work for Berkshire Hathaway, good luck to you, and please give me a call if you win. How's that?
Wouldn't you like to work for him right now?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the odds to pick a perfect bracket?
Very
astronomical.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
So who's going to win March Madness then, Richard?
Well, my Wisconsin Badgers are not in it, so I've narrowed it down to 2 teams, either Florida or North Carolina. I don't know which.
Yeah.
What a surprise!
I think it's the Carolina blue tie that you have on, so I think that's who you're secretly
exactly.
pulling
Good luck
for.
to both of you.
Well, thank you. Saw your Badgers are not in it.
Right.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, the White House unveiling its gun and safety school proposals today. Why some are not pleased with that legislation.
And meteorologist Steve Newman will be back with your first alert forecast, plus how a lack of sleep and the risk of dementia could be related. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye. And over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
It's California Closet's lighting and accessories sales event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
The White House introducing its school safety plan, where President Trump seems to back off some of the proposals for gun legislation he previously voiced support for.
ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
President Trump defending his newly released gun proposal in a series of tweets this morning, writing, "Very strong improvement and strengthening of background checks legislation moving forward. And when it comes to raising those age limits, a stark reversal. States are making this decision." It was just a few weeks ago when he seemed ready to push Republicans.
They're allowed to buy them at 18. So how does that make sense? I say that it should all be at 21.
But their new plan does not include that age change or universal background checks. Instead, support for the Cornyn-Murphy bill to improve background checks, expand mental health programs, and help states to provide firearms training to specifically qualified school personnel. All proposals the NRA has previously backed.
It sure looks like President Trump is as scared of the NRA as the people he called out a couple weeks ago in that meeting.
Now the president's primary focus is on pushing through things that we know have broad bipartisan support, or things that we can do from an administrative perspective that we can do immediately.
Republicans had been waiting on the White House to provide political cover on the purchase age, but today the press secretary says their plan to create a federal commission on school safety that would examine raising the age of purchase is just the first step. Democrats, though, still hoping for more.
The president once again had to back away from what he had promised.
Those teen activists, however, still could change the conversation. A nationwide student walkout is planned later this week for stricter gun laws. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Authorities in Austin, Texas are investigating another package explosion. That makes 2 explosions in Austin just today. A 17-year-old boy died and a woman was hurt in the first blast today. An elderly woman was then taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries from the second one. Police say the incidents appear to be connected to a March 2nd bombing that killed a man. The first 2 packages were not delivered via any mail services, and African Americans live at both of those homes. Details on the 3rd package have not been released yet. Much more in this story coming up on ABC News, World News Tonight at 6:30. Now to talk about our weather and a change day.
Yeah. A windy day.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe the wind is blowing the pollen away that we've had for a
That would be nice.
We hope that, but there's also pollen up to the north where it's coming from. It's spring up there, so we'll see how it shakes down, but I think it is going to get better. Across the coast right now, strong, blustery winds causing high surf. There's dangerous surf out there, so be alert if you're heading to the beach. Not the greatest day to be out there. Definitely not a good day to be swimming. Currently at Sarasota Bay, you can see it's a rough surf there. The latest picture, 64 degrees is the temperature, dew point 51, and our humidity 63%. And there's that strong north-northwest wind. It's going to be gusting up to 25 at times. You can see evidence of the cold front, still a little warm down around Miami. We're at 77, but in the 50s up in the Panhandle and far northern Florida. It's just going to do nothing but get cooler as we move through tonight and tomorrow. Now, because of those strong northwest winds blowing in, it's chilly closer to the coast, but it comes across warmer land. It's blowing across warmer land, moderating that cooling influence. So it's still a little warmer inland, but that's going to go away. Everybody's going to be cool for the next few days. All because of this cold front now draped over far south Florida, moving into the Florida Straits. And it's also got a lot of rain associated with it down there, but it entirely missed us. We just got sparse amounts of rain. I wish we could have got some of that. And look at the rainfall amounts out in the Gulf, over 9 inches in a couple of storms. And look at that, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches down in the Florida Strait. South Florida just got maybe a ½ inch at best. We really missed out across the Sun Coast. It's not going to be enough to help with your lawn. You're undoubtedly going to have to water your lawn in the next few days with only 1/10, 2/10 of an inch, almost a ½ inch out in DeSoto County. Now, here's a major storm brewing. It's a messy night right now in North Carolina as a nor'easter is brewing and moving out into the Atlantic, where it's going to cause further problems. But look at this, probably thunder snow going in southeast of Raleigh-Durham, rain changing to snow, maybe a wintry mix in some spots. That's cool there too. Let's move on. I don't know where that came from. Temperatures right now, 32 at Raleigh-Durham, 42 at New York City, 40 at Boston. So we are down here still in the warmer air. Out west, 80 at Phoenix, 62 in Los Angeles. Now let's take a look at our futurecast showing the evolution of that nor'easter and our cool weather that's in place for the next few days. So nor'easter moves up the coast causing further problems. We will be clear and dry for the next day or so, in fact all this week. But here's a reinforcing cool front coming our way on Wednesday, and once it comes through Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, we'll drop to the low 40s. It's going to get even colder as the week goes on. It's also very windy out on the Gulf. I've told you about the high surf advisory, the rip current threat, and there's a small craft advisory in effect tonight, but this forecast is for tomorrow with northwest winds slowly subsiding 10 to 20 in the morning down to 10 knots in the afternoon, seas 4 to 6 feet. It'd be choppy on bay and inland waters, and there's that high surf advisory. Not a warm day at the beach. I know a lot of people are down here for spring break. 64 degrees isn't all that bad, but the water temperature 70 and the UV index, if you can break from the wind, it's a 7. Here's my forecast for the rest of tonight. It's going to be clearing and breezy. Our low temperature 47 degrees, which is considerably 10 degrees cooler than normal for this time of year. And tomorrow, a mostly sunny to partly sunny day, fresh, low humidities, so it's going to feel nice. And here is the next 7 days, and it's a big change in our weather pattern. Look at this. Tomorrow, a fresh day, high of 66. And look what happens when that cold front comes through on Wednesday. It drops us down to 43 on Thursday morning and Friday morning. Then we start a warming trend on Friday back into the low 70s, but almost 80 degrees by next weekend. Next weekend is going to be wonderful. And that's your weather story.
Okay, Steve, thank you. Now to First Alert Traffic. We're seeing some minor backups on University Parkway just before you get to the interchange there at I-75. And then I-75 a little slow going once you're heading north from University, but then it clears up and it looks green from there. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, if you're depressed and sleeping poorly, it may be linked to what's in your bedroom. With more, here's ABC's Arlette Saenz.
Do you fall asleep in bed with the TV on? Keep the hallway light on so you can get up in the middle of the night? For some of us, extra light is comforting, but this could be setting you up for depression. Public health researchers in Japan conducted a study on 863 Japanese seniors and their exposure to light at night, measured in lux. Lighting in a typical family room is 50 lux. A regular day outside is 10,000 to 25,000 lux. And the brightness of a street light coming through your window is 5 lux. People exposed to more than 5 lux at night over a period of 2 years were 65% more likely to develop depression. And this did not change much, even when researchers accounted for medical conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. So make sure you have a nice comfy bed in a quiet room, and pull the curtains, switch off your tech, and let the dark surround you. Good sleep is vital to good health, and now we know it may be linked to staving off depression as well. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Saenz, ABC News.
A new study claims poor sleep and the risk of dementia go hand in hand. It shows when cognitively normal people, 70 years old and older, are excessively sleepy in the daytime, it leads to a buildup of plaque in the brain. Depositing plaque in brain tissue is the first known preclinical stage of Alzheimer's. It happens well before any obvious signs or symptoms of dementia begin. Experts say the connection between sleep and dementia is worrisome. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 Americans do not get enough sleep. Depending on your age, we are supposed to get between 7 and 10 hours of sleep each night. Sugar-free diets are a big trend this year, but just quitting sugar is unlikely to improve your health overall. Cutting down on ultra-processed foods, eating more vegetables, and exercising will, however. The sugar-free diet is restrictive. Such foods as whole grains, blueberries, and grapefruits are allowed, while white bread, bananas, and raisins are not. Remember that health is not simply about a person's size, weight, or the food we try to avoid, and fruit is your friend and a healthy alternative when it comes to sweets. Coming up, the latest on a deadly helicopter crash in New York City, killing 5 passengers on board. And a massive fire erupts in Portland, Oregon. More on those stories when we come back.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
art. Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs' Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs' Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs' Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
The 2018 Sarasota County Fair is set to begin March 16th through 25th. This year, there'll be rides for everyone, thanks to Bell City Amusements. Experience your favorite entertainers, along with some new and exciting acts, like the Tiger Encounter, the Kachunga and Alligator Show, comedian ventriloquist Steve Brogan, plus our new and exciting SRQ Schools at its best. And remember, ride armbands all day, every day. The 2018 Sarasota County Fair, March 16th through 25th. See you there.
Car experts and customers agree there's a lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We are learning more tonight about that deadly helicopter crash in New York.
The pilot managed to escape, but 5 passengers died in the crash. With more about those on board and new questions as to how this tragedy could have happened, here's ABC's Maggie Rulli.
The NTSB and a dive team are on the scene investigating how a seemingly normal photo tour around New York City took a tragic turn as crews pull the mangled helicopter out of the East River.
Zerly Motel, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Zerly Motel, are you okay? East River, engine failure. I'm sorry, say again? East River, engine failure.
Witnesses caught the horrifying moments on camera as the aircraft flips upside down in freezing cold water, killing all 5 passengers on board.
Marine 6 does have 1 diver in the water.
The pilot, 33-year-old Rick Vance, managed to escape. He says a passenger's harness got tangled around a fuel shutoff switch, accidentally cutting off the fuel supply and causing a catastrophic engine failure. Authorities are now investigating. There are also questions about how the tourists were strapped in. All 5 were harnessed so they could take pictures with the doors open. But those straps were so tight, rescuers struggled to rip them from the sinking helicopter.
People have this 4-point harness that they've probably never used before. They don't know how to get out of it.
The helicopter was operated by the tour company Liberty Helicopters. Its website says it's been flying safely for over 30 years. But FAA records show at least 2 other accidents for Liberty Helicopters, including one in 2009 that killed 9 people. Now lawmakers are calling for answers.
I am calling on the FAA to issue an emergency order and suspend Liberty Helicopters 135 operating certificate.
These types of tours are common here in New York City, and helicopters are constantly buzzing up and down the East River. And today, other tour companies are up and running. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
49 people are dead after a passenger plane crashed while landing at the Kathmandu airport in Nepal. Police say 71 passengers and crew were on board. The airport manager says the plane flying from Bangladesh was approaching the runway from the wrong direction. The passengers on board were from Nepal, Bangladesh, China, and Maldives.
A massive fire at a car lot in Portland, Oregon today. A nearby apartment building and duplex were destroyed by the fire. Firefighters say several pets in the apartment building were killed. There have been no immediate reports of people being injured. Oregon Public Health reported that smoke from the burning tires of the car lot may contain toxic chemicals. No word yet on what caused that fire.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, a look at a new class started by a local high school to combat bullying on campus.
And why women are predicted to define politics in 2018. Details coming up.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I actually started playing the game at 11 years old, so I started a little bit later than most players. But I was actually raised on Fighting Joe. The value here at Robert Trent Jones is unsurpassable. I mean, I have looked to other places. I've traveled all the way across the country. Everything is perfect as far as everything is the golf course, the rolling of the greens. Everything that I've encountered has just been absolutely incredible. And for the money that you spend, for the value that you actually get, it is unsurpassable. I'd recommend it for anybody.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.